I'm Joe Elmore, President and CEO of Charleston Animal Society, and I hope that you and your loved ones are safe and healthy during this ongoing national emergency. This is my weekly COVID-19 message to all of you who have animals in your life or who care for them. June is National Pet Preparedness Month, and I can't emphasize enough that we need to prepare now more than ever. If you think about it, this is our 6th year in a row of nationally or presidentially declared disasters or emergencies throughout South Carolina, and especially here in the Charleston area and the Low Country. 2, we just had a rare tropical storm, Bertha, a few days ago. 3, all predictions are for a very active hurricane season. 4, how are we going to evacuate and most likely a congregate housing environment or evacuation shelters? And 5, what safety protocols should we follow with the dual threat of coronavirus and the flu season? But this message is not about fear. This message is about hope. And the better prepared we are, the more hopeful we can be about our family's well-being and their safety and health going through this upcoming hurricane season. As I mentioned 2 months ago in my message about planning for our animals during the pandemic, planning for emergencies is all about preparing, planning, and staying informed. So, as we enter this unprecedented hurricane season environment, 1, include your pets and other animals, including farm animals and livestock, in your emergency plans. 2, build a separate emergency kit for your pets, including water, food, and medications as a minimum. 3, make sure and keep digital records and photos to identify your pet or animal after the disaster in case you become separated. 4, create a list of places that accepts pets if an emergency happens. Please don't assume that those places are the same as last year because the coronavirus may have changed. 5, update your pet's vaccinations and their microchip information now. If they are not microchipped, please do this, along with making sure their collars have up-to-date ID tags. I'm going to share some additional resources with you about developing your pet plans and emergency kits at the end of this video message. The coronavirus and hurricane season could lead to a dire situation for our families and our animals. So please, take this weekend and begin your preparedness efforts. Remember, this message is about hope, not fear. And the better prepared we are, the more hopeful and confident we can be about managing our loved ones' well-being during this hurricane season. Please view the additional resources from our friends at FEMA at the end of the message. Stay safe, stay healthy, Charleston strong.
Being prepared for an emergency means thinking about the needs of all the members of your family, including pets. Take a few minutes to check out the information on ready.gov, specifically addressing tips and tools for pet owners. As you put together supplies for your family's emergency kit, be sure to think about the well-being of your pets. Include food, water, and medicine to sustain your pets for at least 3 days. Visit ready.gov for a complete list of suggested items, along with recommendations for how to prepare an emergency plan that includes your pets. Remember that pet food and medicines can spoil, so check your kit regularly to make sure everything in it is still fresh. In the case of an emergency, you may be able to stay in your home, or you may have to evacuate. It's important to have a plan for either situation. If your family and pets have to wait out a storm or other disaster at home, identify a safe area of your home where you can all stay together. Put your emergency supplies in that room ahead of time, including your pet's crate and supplies.
The single most important thing you can do to keep your pets safe is to take them with you if you have to evacuate during a disaster. Oftentimes people think their pets will be more comfortable or somehow safer at home. This is not the case. We've seen so many situations where people think they're going to be gone for a couple of hours and then you are not allowed to go back to your home for days or sometimes even weeks. What's going to happen to your pet if you leave them behind?
Consider checking with your local animal shelter or emergency management office to determine if a pet-friendly emergency shelter will be set up near your location. Many emergency shelters only allow service animals, so advanced planning is key. Make a list of boarding facilities and veterinary offices that might be able to shelter animals in disaster emergencies. Include 24-hour telephone numbers. Another way pet owners can be prepared is by developing a buddy system.
With a buddy system, what you're doing is you're making arrangements with your neighbors and friends to, in case of a disaster, that you'll take care of each other's pets. So if you're not available to get your pet from your house, one of your buddies will be able to go into the house and get your pet.
A Pet Inside sticker is an effective tool for alerting first responders that there are pets inside your home. Your pet should be wearing up-to-date identification at all times.
It's extremely important that your pets are identifiable. So you want to make sure that all your pets have collars, and on those collars you want to have tags that have your name, your address, your cell phone number is extremely important.
It may also be helpful to put the phone number of an out-of-town relative on there, just in case you're not able to be reached in the event of a disaster.
Microchipping is a particularly effective way to identify pets separated from their owners in an emergency.
Getting your pet microchipped is really crucial to keeping them safe in a disaster situation. A microchip is a small device that can be implanted painlessly under your pet's skin, and it can be very inexpensive as well. If you're separated from your pet in a disaster situation, they might lose their collar and they might be taken to a shelter that's far away from where you live. At one of these temporary shelters, it would be very easy to swipe a scanner over your pet's microchip and all of your contact information will pop up, making it much more likely for you to reunite with your pet.
There are many things to consider when preparing your family for an emergency. By taking the time to also consider the needs of your pets, you can have the peace of mind knowing that even the smallest members of your family will be ready.
After seeing many sad situations where people left their animals behind, it's really wonderful to see people making pets an integral part of their disaster planning process.
With a little bit of planning, you can make a big difference and you can keep everybody, including your pets, safe.
Check out the information for pet owners on ready.gov and get started preparing today.